This was almost an impossible task, but it was done. May I know from our distinguished colleague from Parañaque, the first district, how many families are going to be affected if there will be some relocation of our informal settlers in the first district of Parañaque?
The people living in the danger zones, about 2,500 families will be affected this relocation.
2,500 families, so about twice the number of families that we had to deal with in the second district of Parañaque. It was a combined effort of the National Housing Authority. They were the lead agency, and they worked very closely with the barangay captain and the barangay council of the affected area, particularly Barangay San Martin de Porres, and of course the local government, City Hall, under the leadership of Mayor June Bernabe, and with the participation of this representation. May I know, Mr. Speaker, from our distinguished colleague, whether the NHA has already taken some initiatives in this regard?
2 weeks ago, we have attended an interagency meeting headed by our good mayor, Mayor Bernabe, regarding this problem. And the people concerned there were the representation, the office of the mayor, and then the PRA, and our Umato in our city government. One concern was brought up is regarding the presidential proclamation given by the President Guadalupe Paglaroyo way back December 2005, wherein there is the presidential proclamation from the reclaimed area in our property located in Barangay Takbo, located in Barangay San Dionisio, Barangay Huerta, where there is a clear mark for this informal settler for the location. But until now, Mr. Speaker, there is no actual implementation of the said relocation area for this people.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This representation tried to consider that possibility, in fact suggested the possibility, way back during my first term and even my second term. With respect to the informal settlers in the reclaimed area, I was suggesting that maybe they could carve out of the 170 hectares during that time, carve out maybe 2 to 3 hectares in order to relocate the informal settlers. So there would be coexistence between the relocated informal settlers and the then to be developed world-class reclaimed area. But this did not come to pass because what prevailed was the master plan for the reclaimed area stretching from the Manila-Pasay City area all the way to Parañaque. Then the master plan was this would stretch up to the shorelines of Cavite. This was not done, and in fact what happened was the informal settlers were relocated somewhere in Cavite. In the case of the informal settlers in Parañaque, along the Riles informal settlers, about 1,100 families were resettled in Laguna. And our distinguished colleague is very familiar with this, the Timbao community. At first, there was a lot of reluctance, a lot of hesitation. Delegations after delegations came to me, appealing for my intervention to prevent the relocation. But I was able to, in a very forthright way, frank and honest way, tell them that the relocation was a better proposition for them. It would be maybe a little painful at the start, but in the final analysis, it would be better for them because they had no future in the railway area. The situation there would get worse and worse and worse, and I guess the same thing is applicable in the riverbank area of the Pasig River and other waterway, the Parañaque River and the other waterways there. And in the end, the settlers accepted this. I use as an example what happened in the 60s, the Sabang Palay project. It was a very bloody relocation, a lot of riots, demonstrations, virtual war between the government and the settlers there until they were finally relocated in Sabang Palay. And for a while, Sabang Palay was a symbol of quote-unquote cruelty in treating informal settlers. But now, Sabang Palay has become a very progressive community in San Jose del Monte and even produced a local mayor. They were able to take over the local governance in San Jose del Monte. And probably something like that will happen with respect to the informal settlers. So I would like to reiterate, perhaps the distinguished gentleman can look, NHA can cite our model, the railway resettlement model in my district, as well as the other districts along the Riles, whose settlers have been relocated already. And I would like to assure that, the distinguished gentleman from the first district, that in the end, it's going to be much better for the informal settlers if they can be resettled somewhere with the help of the NHA, the local government of Parañaque, the distinguished gentleman from the first district as part of our housing and urban development program. On the note,
please, Honorable Congressman Torres.
yes, I would be happy to listen to the response of the distinguished gentleman from the first district.
Mr. Speaker, I am very aware of what I've done at the second district along the Riles ng San Martin de Porres. They were transferred in the Barangay Timbao Municipality of Binyan. Because before I became a representative of this Congressional District of Parañaque, I was a former provincial board member and a former provincial vice governor of the province of Laguna. That relocation is a clear manifestation of a relocation where people are living safely and they have what they call a community within the neighborhood. At first, when I talk with the people relocated there, they have a reaction. But now, I think in their condition right now, they are very satisfied on their